The headlines scream of conflict, echoing with stories of confrontation and rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea. But the real story, the one that truly matters, is happening far below the surface, hidden from the public eye, shrouded in darkness and secrecy. A silent, unseen war is being waged on the seabed near Bajo de Masinloc, Scarborough Shoal, a flashpoint in the ongoing maritime dispute. The Philippine Navy has discovered suspicious, man-made underwater structures, evidence that something unusual and potentially dangerous is unfolding beneath the waves. This isn't random. It's a calculated, clandestine operation with chilling implications for regional security and sovereignty. What was once a visible struggle of ships and water cannons has now descended into the ocean's mysterious depths, where the rules of engagement are unclear and the risks are even greater. The Navy's mission is urgent. Uncover the truth behind these structures before it's too late, before the balance of power shifts even further. The area is heavily patrolled by Chinese vessels, making every dive a high-risk challenge, with the threat of confrontation always looming. These structures are not natural, they're man-made, their purpose unknown but deeply concerning, raising fears of a new kind of conflict. The discovery has sent shockwaves through Manila's defense establishment, confirming their worst fears and forcing urgent reassessment of their strategy. China's ambitions now reach the very floor of the ocean, raising urgent questions that demand immediate answers. Are these for military surveillance, to block Filipino fishermen from their traditional grounds, or to solidify China's illegal claim and extend its control even further into Philippine waters? Filipino patrol vessels now search for secrets hidden beneath the waves, not just watching for ships, but for threats lurking below. The mission has become a hunt for the truth in an environment where visibility is low, the pressure is immense, and the adversary is powerful and determined. This underwater dimension adds a new layer of complexity and danger to an already volatile situation, making every decision critical. The silent war beneath the waves has begun, fought in the shadows and silence of the deep. The future of the region may depend on what is found in the deep, and on the courage of those who dare to search for answers. The stakes have never been higher. The world is watching, waiting to see what will emerge from the depths. For years, the world watched dramatic surface confrontations, ships ramming each other, water cannons blasting across bows, and fishermen being harassed in contested waters. These incidents played out in full view, making headlines and drawing international concern. These were public displays of power, carefully orchestrated to intimidate rivals and assert dominance over disputed seas. But now, the conflict is shifting from the visible to the invisible, from the surface to the mysterious depths below. The recent discovery of underwater structures signals a major strategic shift by Beijing, one that is less obvious, but potentially far more consequential. China is moving from overt aggression to covert, permanent infrastructure on the seabed, building installations that are hidden from plain sight. This is an attempt to physically anchor its claim, creating facts on the ocean floor that are hard to challenge or remove, and that could last for generations. Surface ships can be moved or withdrawn, but underwater structures are a different matter entirely. They are fixed, silent, and enduring. These installations represent a form of marine terraforming, altering the environment itself to serve strategic goals and reshape the balance of power. For the Philippines, this shift means facing new and complex challenges, detecting and countering hidden threats that lurk across vast, unpredictable waters. Sonar, underwater drones, and specialized dive teams are now as crucial as patrol ships, forming the backbone of a new kind of maritime defense. The conflict has entered a truly three-dimensional battle space, where the fight for control extends from the surface to the very seabed. The dark, silent depths of the sea are now the new front line, a place where the next moves will be made and the future decided. The secrets being uncovered beneath the waves could redefine the entire struggle for control of the West Philippine Sea, changing the rules of engagement. The Philippines must adapt quickly, developing new strategies and technologies to keep pace with these evolving threats. The world must pay attention, as the outcome here could set a precedent for maritime disputes everywhere. The next phase of this conflict is already underway, unfolding both above and below the waves. The stakes are higher than ever, with the future of the region, and perhaps the world's oceans, hanging in the balance. Bajo de Masinloc is more than just a collection of rocks and reefs. It's a strategic and economic lifeline for the Philippines, supporting the daily lives of countless people. Located well within the country's exclusive economic zone, it stands as a critical outpost for maritime security and serves as a vital artery for global trade, with major shipping routes passing close by. Losing control here would create a dangerous gap in national defense, exposing the nation to greater risks from external threats. For generations, its rich, bountiful waters have sustained thousands of Filipino families, providing not only livelihood, but also a deep sense of cultural heritage and belonging. The shoal's immense strategic value is clear to China too. It's a perfect platform for projecting power, monitoring shipping lanes, and asserting influence over the region's vital maritime routes. If militarized, it would give Beijing a commanding position deep within Philippine territory, threatening not just national security, but also regional stability. The fight for Bajo de Masinloc is about more than territory. It's about survival, identity, and the future of coastal communities who depend on these waters for their way of life. For the Philippines, ceding control is unthinkable. The stakes are immense, touching every aspect of national pride and sovereignty. The fate of this small ring of coral could shape the destiny of a nation, echoing far beyond its shores for generations to come. The underwater structures at Bajo de Masinloc bring sovereignty and international law into sharp focus. Under UNCLOS, the shoal is within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, a fact confirmed by the 2016 Hague Tribunal. The ruling is legally binding, but China rejects it, acting as if it never happened. By building structures and harassing fishermen, Beijing is creating a new reality through force. This isn't just a Philippine issue, it's a test of the global rules-based order. If international law is ignored, the foundation of maritime peace is at risk. The world must decide law or might. The crisis at Bajo de Masinloc is the result of years of escalating tensions and a clear pattern of Chinese assertiveness. The 2012 standoff was a turning point. China stayed after a promised withdrawal, effectively seizing control. Diplomatic agreements proved insufficient. Legal victories like the 2016 ruling didn't change the facts on the water. Earlier, China's fishermen's shelters on Mischief Reef became a massive military outpost. These experiences taught Manila that ignoring small incursions leads to irreversible losses. China's pattern deny, delay, then develop. The discovery of new underwater structures is seen as the next step in a long-term strategy. The past has shown the Philippines that inaction isn't an option. Every move must be challenged and exposed. History demands vigilance. China's strategy is evolving. Surface control now pairs with underwater development. The near-constant presence of Chinese vessels enforces an unofficial exclusion zone, symbolized by floating barriers. Now, suspected underwater construction is a game-changer. Covert, hard to monitor, and designed for permanence. These structures could house surveillance sensors or serve as foundations for future expansion. Declaring the area a nature reserve is a legal tactic to legitimize control and restrict access. Environmentalism becomes a tool for territorial expansion. This multi-pronged approach, surface blockade, underwater building, legal manipulation, aims to make China's claim irreversible. Countering it requires equal sophistication and resolve. The chess match is both above and below the water. Manila's response has been swift and resolute. Officials have declared any Chinese construction a red line, vowing to defend Philippine territory. The government is exposing China's actions to the world, releasing evidence, rallying support, and refusing to let the issue fade. International allies, including the US, Japan, and Australia, have voiced strong support and increased cooperation. Diplomatic pressure is mounting, turning a bilateral dispute into a global issue. The Philippines can't face China alone. Global backing is crucial. The world is watching, and unity is the strongest counter to aggression. The struggle is now about the future of maritime order. Beyond geopolitics, the conflict devastates real people and the environment. Filipino fishermen are blocked from their traditional grounds, pushing families into poverty and eroding a way of life. Fear and uncertainty haunt coastal villages as harassment and danger become routine. The blockade is an assault on dignity and national pride. Environmentally, China's construction methods have destroyed thousands of acres of coral reefs in the region. Any new building at Bajo de Masinloc threatens similar devastation, collapsing fish stocks and harming all coastal states. The long-term economic and ecological costs are staggering. This is not just a legal or territorial battle, it's a fight for people and the ocean itself. The legacy of inaction will be poverty and ruin for generations. The crisis is deepening, and the consequences for regional security are severe. A permanent Chinese outpost would shift the balance, threatening Philippine sovereignty and regional stability. The Philippines is modernizing its navy, boosting surveillance, and rallying international support. Legal and diplomatic efforts will continue, aiming to build a coalition against expansionism. Allies can help with joint patrols, intelligence, and economic measures to impose real costs on China. The struggle for the West Philippine Sea is a defining test for the 21st century. The world must choose rule of law or rule of force. The next move in this underwater chess game could decide the outcome.